Small caps are on fire. AI sector is booming. We're giving you the best of both worlds today. A super beaten down stock, very tight cap structure, and a great opportunity going into 2024. First, if you don't mind smashing that like button, click and subscribe if you haven't. Also, turning on those post notifications, I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, the company is Spectral AI, ticker MDAI. Now, we're going to have a lot to talk about today. I want to start with the fundamentals first, and then we'll dive into the charts. I want to start with dilution tracker and focus on the market cap, which is 34 million. Now, back in September, the all-time high was $9. We're currently trading at $2 a share. So if we divide that out, we get 4.5, which essentially we're going to multiply by the current market cap. So back in September, this business was valued at $150 million. So the question you need to ask yourself is, are we seeing an opportunity here? Is the company undervalued? Now, as we scroll down, we're looking at the historical OS and potential dilution. In September of last year, it was just shy of 16 million shares, now sitting at 16.3. It's very tight. It's barely expanded. I would expect this business to raise more capital and actually open this up a little. So I'm actually impressed that it's not larger than where it is. That's actually really tight. And then in terms of the cash position, right? I know we're looking at the burn, but it's really not that much each month. It's about 1.5 million. So if the business starts to improve and those revenues go up significantly, this could easily turn cash flow positive, or we could see again positive net income. Another site I like is FinViz because it's going to show us again the same numbers here, 56% insiders, and it says 9% on the institutional side. Now, there's two things that I want to focus on. One is the performance. Again, where people are fearful and panicking, we have to ask ourselves, which is the flip side of the coin, is this an opportunity? Okay. So again, I like to look at value. I don't want to buy a stock at all-time high, right? I want to buy it at the lows where I could see the stock grow, not potentially get sold off. Okay. And again, the second would be that target price of $4, which I really, really like to see. And then as we scroll down, we saw January of this year, BTIG buy rating $4 price target, which is fantastic. And then the most recent PR, Spectral AI to participate in 2024 BTIG MedTech Digital Health, Life Sciences, and Diagnostic Tools Conference. Really, really great PR. We saw that the microcap conference was recent, a lot of new companies getting great exposure. So, again, this is definitely a positive for the company. If we take that $4 price target that we saw by BTIG, that would be around 95% upside, which is essentially a double up from where we are. Typically, when you see Wall Street analysts put those types of price targets, they expect to meet or exceed them within the first 6 months, even if it's a 1 year price forecast. So I'm very optimistic about where we could be in the next few weeks, months, and again, just going into 2024. But first, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy or sell, nor am I trying to influence your decision-making process in any way. A lot of people ask me, how do I define risk to reward? How do I know that I'm getting a good value or a good potential opportunity? Now, what I like to do is focus on where we closed versus where the all-time low is, right? That will be our downside risk. So we closed again at around 205, we'll call it 204, and we'll take risk hypothetically to that low of 179. So that'd be around a 12.5, 13% downside. Now, on the flip side, where could I see it going to conservatively? I would say 350 is a fair number, right? And that would be around 72, 71%, give or take. So if we do the math here, let's take the number 71, divide that out by 13. That means our potential upside is 5 times greater, almost 5.5 times greater than our downside risk. That is very, very good. Okay, most plays we want to get to is at least 3 to 5x upside versus downside. Now, if we go to, again, like we mentioned before, BTIG's price target at $4, right now that's over 96%. So we do 96 divided by 13. Now we have over 7 times upside compared to downside risk. Again, just my personal opinion. I like those odds. In any stock you trade, there's going to be massive amount of risk involved, especially with small caps and volatile penny stocks. But again, it's all a matter of how you perceive value, right? We're holding really well to this trend line. I want to see 179 be the temporary bottom. On the daily, right, we have this sort of dragonfly doji, and then again, a really nice print. We could possibly melt up tomorrow. I would say 230, 240 is possible pretty quickly, right? So that would be, anywhere between 15 and 20% upside, I think we could see in a short period of time. And then we go on the weekly here, right? What are we noticing, right? This EMA, this 200 day, is sort of acting as a barrier, right? As a resistance line. And we see even the first week, right? Where to close right on the line. We had one close, maybe one singular weekly close above this line, and then every other time has been resistance, right? We see it here, we see it here, there, right? Here, 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 right? Nearly to perfection, right? We see even last week, right? The 200 day is at 362. Is probably a little higher. It's probably 364, 365. The high was 372. That was off by maybe 5 cents, and the stock price falls over 50% in 1 week. So clearly, this 200 day, very, very hot. And you could definitely see that on the daily as well, right? Nearly to the penny, it rejects here. And rarely ever do you see one to one or like to the legitimate penny. But when you stretch this out, right, the EMA was at 371, the high was 372. Here it touched like literally to the penny, 370. So very, very impressive. That's what I like to look at. But again, when you go back in time, right, you could see just historically, if you zoom out, visualize it, don't overcomplicate it, right? You see where there is resistance, you see where there's support. So let's call it, let's say 180 is the floor, right? And let's say 360 is the top. Okay. So there's about $1.80 range up and down to play with, right? Pretty much your downside's about a quarter, right? Your upside's almost $2. So again, it's all a matter of how you see risk, how you see value. Everyone's going to be different. No two accounts or individuals are going to be the exact same. So again, please make sure to do your own research, understand the company. Don't just take my word for it. But again, mdai, Spectral AI, definitely one you want to keep on your radar, has all the pieces to it. A new company, definitely an exciting business, very tight cap structure, not a lot of burn on a monthly basis. And again, a very nice price target by BTIG. Hopefully, some more positive news is going to come in the future. We could possibly see an increase in buyer interest, buying demand, buying volume, things of that nature. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic night. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.